about bouncing back from a week 1 loss in a season where 1 or 2 losses is pretty significant?
You have to. I mean, it's just one of those things. Either you get it done or you don't get it done. Now, our backs are against the wall. Got 1 loss already, and in this conference, 1 loss can sometimes cost you a conference championship. Not the playoffs, but for sure the conference championship. So now we got to hope that we win out and somebody beats UCM. So I mean, it's just our kids got to regroup, and they've had some meetings by themselves the last couple of days, just making sure they're getting everybody on the same page and kind of understand what we're wanting as a coaching staff done as well. So it's just holding them more accountable. I mean, we hold them pretty accountable already, but now it's really being more disciplined with everything that we do and making sure they're doing things the right way. So we'll see what happens.
The fact that last year they came back from a similar situation was when their backs were against the wall, does that give the team a little bit, of confidence knowing that it can be done?
I think they know it can be done, and then after watching the game, they know the mistakes that they made, and they know they got to correct those mistakes, for this week and then upcoming weeks. But we got a good group of kids. They understand what's at hand, and they don't want to be the group that sets us back. They want to be the group that continues, to do great things here at Fort Hays. So I know they're going to work their tails off. I know they're going to get their mistakes corrected. We just got to play good football, and we just got to play better. That's something we didn't do last week, and they know that as well. So yesterday's practice was pretty good, especially with all the stuff that you install, offensively and defensively. And sometimes those practices are a little bit sloppy, but our kids did a good job of picking those things up and getting after it.
It seemed like every phase had a breakdown at one point: offense, defense, special teams. And as you go back and look, was it more physical, mental? I mean, is it things that you feel are very correctable?
I think it was probably more the mental aspect of it, and then anything else, just maybe a guy not doing his job or doing his assignment, and the punt was one of them. The fake punt was one of them. Just a couple guys didn't do their job. Get a couple guys beat, in the secondary, which shouldn't happen as well. Just getting your eyes in the backfield and not playing the deep ball. Then offensively, just not sustaining drives, not scoring touchdowns in the red zone. And then when it's 4 or 5 minutes on the clock, we've got to run the clock out. So I think it's just the mental part of it. We got to learn how to finish people off. We got them down, and we just got to get a killer instinct and go finish people off and not relax. And I think that's something we did. We relaxed a little bit, on Thursday. And that's something you can't do in a football game.
Charles Stigner seems like that was a good season starter for him. Were you just pretty pleased with what he was able to do in the opener?
It was a good start. It's still, we still got to get him to calm down with his jump cuts and his bounce around so much. I think if he learns to get, one jump cut, get more vertical and trust his blocking up front, that, it'll be even better. So, but it was a good first game for him. Had a couple of nice catches as well for yards. Had a nice little screenplay that he had. Running the game was pretty good, but there's still a few holes that he should have hit that he missed. And if he cleans those things up, I think he could have a pretty good year.
Hudson had a good debut, and you see his role maybe increasing as we go here?
He had a great first game, and hopefully, as the year goes on, you see him more and more. To me, it's just his physical size that hurts him right now. He's just so small, and can he take on the grunt of 4 quarters and carrying the ball 20, 30 times, which right now we don't think he can until he puts on the weight. But 10 carries a game, catching the ball out of the backfield. I think he's dangerous. I think he's explosive, and I'm excited about the future with him.
Missouri Western on the horizon now, and obviously a team you guys know all too well about from last year, and they put up a pretty good fight against Northwest last week. What did you see on film?
They're just solid on both sides of the ball. Offensively, they're similar to us. With a lot of 11 personnel, run game as well, play action, some of the same passing concepts that we have offensively. I think they got a good tailback. They got a quarterback that runs really well, and the receivers are very talented. They got a couple of tight ends that are strong and physical. O-line is strong across the board as well. So I see them. They're just solid. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and they were able to establish a little bit of a run game against Northwest, which is usually pretty hard. But they were able to get some rushing yardage, and a lot of that was with the quarterback run game as well. And a couple play action things that opened up for them as well, just because of the run. But then defensively, they haven't changed a lot since last year. They're kind of the same look, playing some cover 4, playing some cover 1. So they're just solid. They fit their run fits are very well fitted. Fit exactly where they need to be. in the run game, but they do a good job in the secondary of getting those passing lanes, and they also do a good job of getting their hands up, you know, so at the D-line level, just knocking some balls down. So, you know, we just got to be prepared for them. I mean, our kids are prepared to go watch film this week and get ready, but, you know, we just got to get better. I think we need to worry about what we're doing, make ourselves better, and understand what they're trying to do to us offensively and defensively.
You mentioned the Western getting their hands up. Chance had several passes batted down. Was that because of them, or just not getting his lanes to throw through? Or?
You know, Central Missouri just did a great job, I thought. They did a good job. They knew they weren't getting to the quarterback. You know, they kind of just got in the passing lane and got their hands up. I mean, that's probably the best I've ever seen a team do it. I mean, I've never seen a team do it quite that well. I mean, I think they had 4 or 5, you know, just in that game alone. But they were smart with it. You know, they weren't going to get to the quarterback, so I'll find out another way to make a play. But that's the first time I've seen a defense do that, and they did a great job with it.
Were you happy with the offensive line? It seemed like, especially in the second half, you're able to run the ball a lot better.
As the game went on, they got better. You know, it's always kind of like that first game as well. You know, getting your timing down. I mean, offensive line is a hard position to play. You got to know each other pretty well. You got to just, and it just becomes a feel after a while of when a guy's coming off a double team or not coming off a double team. And that takes some time. And I think as the game went on, our guys got more comfortable. You know, especially with us not knowing exactly what they were going to do up front. And, you know, they were pretty athletic up front, I thought. I think it was just our guys understanding their athleticism and getting to the right points and coming off of double teams in certain situations and at the right time as well. And I thought it got better as the game went on.
Bieberly seemed to pick up where he left off from last season in Game 1. How important is his leadership going to be as the season progresses?
No, it's important every single game. You know, he's got good speed, got great body control. He does a good job, you know, getting off press coverage. You know, he struggled with that early in his years, but now he's been able to use his strength that he's gained over the last 4 or 5 years in the weight room to get off those press coverages. Very good down the field. You know, he's a good vertical threat for us. Being able to get that separation at the last second to catch the ball as well. But, you know, we're going to need him all season long, you know, and him and Harley and Jay and then those guys, you know, on the offensive side have got to go make plays for us. And, you know, we expect it week in and week out, not just one game at a time.
How do you feel Chance in his first game as, I guess, the guy, how he performed?
I thought Chance did well. I mean, I really did. You know, sometimes he gets out of the pocket just a little too soon, I think, sometimes. But when he's out, he's still pretty darn good. You know, he just the one fumble, that was it. But I think I blamed that more on our running back than anything else, just with the block. You know, trying to cut blocks, staying up on top of the guy and protecting our quarterback because you can't see that guy coming from behind. But I thought he managed the game well. I thought he stayed calm and cool, made the throws that he needed to make, and you know, a couple of balls were dropped as well. So, but I thought he did an excellent job for his first game.
It's easy to be really down, I guess, after a first game. Is there a mental reset that has to happen for everybody? Because there's still a lot of football to play, and everything that you're playing for is still in front of you.
It's right there, and our kids see that as well. And it's just something we got to do in practice is, you know, reset that, put that game behind us, and let's just get better and move forward. We know what's at stake, and we know what we need to do to win ball games. Let's just go, you know, execute and get better each week. So, you know, a little bit was kind of a downer, you know, in practice stages. You could tell it was down just a little bit, but I think as the day goes on, you know, as the week goes on, we'll get better, and the energy will come back. And we've got a great group of kids. I mean, they're hardworking, they're committed. They've done everything they need to do to win ball games. It's just putting it all together and staying focused and staying confident and believing in themselves. And I think this group's won a lot of ball games, and you know, they're going to continue to win a lot of ball games, and you know, we're going to win a lot of games this year.
How are you health-wise? Did you lose any? Is there any long-term injuries that came out of that one?
Just one with Jaiman. You know, he'll be out, you know, 4 to 6 weeks, but other than that, that's it. So we'll get him back, you know, here soon. But you know, we just next guy in, and let's go play. And you know, we got those guys, and I feel confident with the guys that we put in there for Jaiman now, and they're going to get the job done.
A lot of cramping. Do you do anything different this week to try to combat that?
It's really I mean, it's really up to them. You know, I mean, it's hydrating themselves properly, not wait until Wednesday to start hydrating. They need to start hydrating right after the game. And you can still see it in practice, you know, a little bit yesterday, some of the guys that had the real bad cramping with just tightness and soreness and things like that. But to me, you just got to take care of your body, and you got to eat properly, and you got to put the right amount of fluids into your body as well. The body's a funny little thing, you know. You just got to make sure you take care of it. Add a little more salt to your meal, you know, or something like that to help you retain the water. So, it's kind of on them to make sure they're doing things properly to get themselves ready. And we've got some other things with that Nate has some electrolyte packets that the kids can take as well, just to make sure we keep them up to date and just make sure they stay hydrated through practice.
You play on this field as a high schooler, and now you get to do it in front of 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people at times. Talk about the change in atmosphere from when you played here in high school to now at Fort Hays State.
Man, that's crazy. I think about that all the time. Me and Coach Brown talk about it all the time. I mean, he got here when I was a freshman, and when I started playing on this field as a freshman. And I mean, it really started last year. 2 years ago, I was looking out of the stands before one of the Pitt State games, and I see buses out there, like school buses out there, and people just like really energized and ready for Fort Hays football. And that's something that we really haven't seen here in Hays, and that really brings a new energy to our team. And like it has brought a crazy amount of energy to our team these last couple of years. And it's just a really, I guess, humbling experience to be out there and see all those fans and just the support that we got.
In the secondary, there were a few guys making their first starts last game. How did you feel like they performed in their debuts?
Yeah, man, we came out really good. We had good communication across the board. We were flying around. It was just a couple mistakes that we had that we're going to have to get back in the film room and definitely adjust them. But we felt pretty good out there flying around. I mean, one man goes down, the next man comes in. We've had great leadership in the past, whether it's been Connor, Doyen, and every single person that was on that field has been around them people. And just them being here in the past and how they prepare for games, how their mental preparation is and everything like that really helps each and every person who's even been around that. And it really helps our team prepare.
Talk about what you've done to prepare for this year, and it seems like take on an even bigger role than what you've had in the past.
Yeah, I mean, for the past couple of years, it's been mostly special teams. Maybe you're coming in here for different packages and everything. But just like I said, you mentally prepare every single week, just like you're going to be coming whenever it happens. I mean, just the preparation that goes in before the game is the key part. I mean, when you step on the field, you got to be ready for anything. You got to be just focused, 100%.
Go ahead.
What kind of stands out about Missouri Western on film, and obviously, last year probably get your attention, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're just a really solid team. They got really good dudes in the wide receiver positions. They always have really athletic people. They don't do anything crazy concept-wise or anything that we really got to change a lot. It's just really going out there and playing football. I mean, it's just lining up, knowing your job, knowing your responsibility, doing it every single play, and playing to the best of your ability.
Do you fall back on, I mean, last year you were 1-1 after 2 games and still shared a part of the conference championship. You fall back on that knowing if you can win Thursday, you're in the same position and could have the same results?
Oh yeah, for sure. We've had our backs against the wall, and last season we had our backs against the wall too, and it really comes down to what team we're going to have this year and the attitude and how we move forward from this loss. I mean, we got kicked in the teeth, we got our back against the wall, and I mean, if we're going to find out what team we got coming here on Thursday. When we're 1-1, then we're 2-1, then we're 3-1. We're just going to have to keep rolling through them games.
Coach mentioned that their quarterback's willing to run. How much does that change what you guys have to do in the secondary, or is that just for the guys up front to worry about?
I mean, we're really doing our jobs. I mean, from the first snap to the last snap, we got to know our job and responsibility, and yeah, that's always something we got to be concerned about when the quarterback starts running. But our job is once he crosses the line of scrimmage, he becomes the ball carrier now. But other than that, we just got to stay on our man and do our job.
It's tough. It definitely makes you think as you're going in for a block now. On that specific situation that happened, I was trying to get the defender's attention by kind of yelling at him a little bit just so he would turn his head. And I knew the rules going in, but at that point in time, he didn't turn his head. There was nothing I could do. I went and talked to the refs about it. The refs, they saw what I didn't think actually happened, but it is what it is, and just going into the future with it, just I got to maybe swipe by him or change it up a little bit, not engage into the defender. So.
Coach mentioned that Missouri Western's defense really hasn't changed a whole lot from last year. How much easier is it to prepare for a defense? You know what you're getting. Last week, Central Missouri, there was really no clue.
Yeah, it was tough with Central Missouri just because we were learning the new D coordinator's defense from his previous school. So it was really it was hit or miss on what we were going to get. But yeah, it was Missouri Western. You know, they'll play that cover 1, cover 4. They don't change much, and they've kept a lot of the same guys from last year, so we're pretty used to what we're going up against. And they're a physical team. There's no getting around that, and their secondary is solid. They've always have been in the past, and we're just going to have to come to work.
Do you draw back on what happened at their place a year ago for this game at all?
Yeah, that was a big, that was a gut check game for us a year ago, and going into this game, it shows, we're just gonna have to prepare that much harder, especially now that our backs are against the wall and we're 0-1, and that's a bad taste in our mouth. So we're gonna get in the film room, we're gonna correct things out on the field, and we're gonna get things going.
Are you approaching anything differently this year as a senior?
I'm just trying to enjoy it, man. It's bittersweet right now because you got to take every second of every moment and really just enjoy it. So whether it's practice or anything that is involving film watching and then games, you have to take every second of that and just love it. Even if it's not your best day, you just got to really enjoy it. And I have been. It's crazy because not every day at practice is a great day. Sometimes you have to get through that practice, but I think all of us seniors have done a good job of just enjoying the little things about it. So.